as today, 3rd May, is World Press Freedom Day and being celebrated here and around the world. I'm especially very pleased to note and to have followed the process in Sri Lanka from the outset in March 2015, where it has been implemented in a thorough, locally driven process and with the inclusion of governments, academia, media industry, and civil society, a so-called multi-stakeholder approach. And more specifically, it was prepared in partnership with the Sri Lankan Ministry of Media, the Department of Mass Media at University of Colombo, the Sri Lanka Press Institute, the Strategic Alliance for Research and Development, and international media support. Such a partnership is fully in line with the global goals of the Media Development Indicator approach, and the process here in Sri Lanka has been a school example of how it should be done, with the hope that these diverse actors will now also act and use the assessment and its thorough recommendations to guide them in the media reform efforts. So this assessment that will be launched today is an invaluable tool to help those engaged in media reform to identify key priorities and key directions. Creating a healthy environment for the media is an essential part of ensuring democratic transition, and the Media Development Indicators is a framework of international norms and standards of how the media can best contribute to good governance, to democratic development, and fulfill its role as a fourth estate. And the findings and recommendations of this very comprehensive study are presented today at a very crucial time in the history of Sri Lanka, at the time when the government and other actors are about to carry out forward a process of media reforms, and also with a view and in pursuit of transitional justice and reconciliation in the country. And in view of such ambitions, a vibrant, open, and pluralistic media environment needs to be there to contribute constructively to the positive development and the involvement of the people throughout the island regarding the provision and access to unbiased and accurate information. Otherwise, and if that is not happening, there is a real risk that the media will contribute to continued problems of societal division and conflict. One of the main goals of the MDI assessment is to identify the strength and the weaknesses in the media environment compared to international standards, and thereby strengthen national practices. And it will be done by pointing the way to transitional reform needs. And then it's up to the local stakeholders to identify priorities and to work towards resolving them. As of today, a total of 14 MDI assessment studies have already been completed globally, in addition to this one now in Sri Lanka, and including those in South Asia, namely in Bhutan, the Maldives, and Nepal, and at least another 16 assessments are ongoing at the moment. It's important for the understanding of the MDI approach and report that it's not an assessment that intends to rank countries and compare them to each other. This is about the Sri Lankan national context, not compared to other South Asian nations, but it do bring a framework that can guide the country. And it is also clear from this assessment that the media, in many ways in Sri Lanka over the past many years, has been fairly strong, and that the country also benefits a lot from a free media sector. But at the same time, much needs to be done to create a robust environment, paving the way for more media pluralism and for more diverse voices to be heard in the current reform process. And this would mean ensuring the growth and development of new media initiatives, of legal and regulatory reforms of broadcasting, providing better and relevant educational and training opportunities, and creating a space of more stable economic environment for the media, and putting in place structural guarantees for media independence. That's all of these points are pointed to in the assessment, and it points the way forward. So now, after this launch, it's up to the local stakeholders that have also come together to create the findings and the recommendations, but to carry these recommendations forward, including the government, including civil society, the media, businesses, academia, and with support from the international community to implement its recommendation. And needless to say, international media support stands ready to assist in these important next steps.